Hey, bread lovers, with the next update coming out Tuesday, we'll get the synergy board for the Japanese version, which in global is going to be called Bond Relic? Kind of weird name, as it's not a relic.
Anyway, in this video I'll show you how it works and want you to prepare yourself for the upcoming update. Now, this video has spoilers, so stop now if you don't want to see a few spoilers, as this video is from the Japanese version, but will be pretty much the same, but you'll see text in English when the update comes out. So let's start our breakdown on Bond Relics.
The way Bond Relics works is you start on page 1, and each hex has its own requirements to fulfill. Once a hex is complete, you will get a small buff. Once a whole hex set is filled out, you will get the orange hex buff. For example, if I fill the center hex out, all entitled, I will get a normal attack damage buff. Now I'll show you an example for page 1. At the top, you will see the requirements to fill for each hex, marked here. This one, for example, is for great swords, and it doesn't matter what level as long as it's a great sword. As you progress further, the requirements will get harder, such as rarity, level, awakened,
and evolution stage.
Now the next hex, however, is a character one, and it requires a mercenary character of any type. So when you're starting out, you can put any character of that requirement in, as you want to fill out as much as the page as you can at the start. Now the next hex is a other character hex, but it requires a paladin this time. Now over to the right side, this one requires a miner's pickaxe of any rarity, and it's pretty much the basic stuff on page 1. But as you unlock more pages, the requirements get harder. Now you may notice I have a lot of iron tools and weapons filling up hex slots. That's because they are basic requirements. I recommend you craft a lot of iron tools and weapons, as you don't want to fill them with gacha items, as it's better to exchange gacha items for dust. Now let's move on to page 2. Now for this hex, it requires a mage that is level 35 or above. Now let's move over to page 3. As you can see, I'm needing more 4 stars and 5 stars to fulfill these requirements. For this hex, you'll need a level 50 hunter, and it doesn't have a rarity requirement, but I used a 5-star hunter here instead. Moving over to page 4, here we'll start to get weapons and tools that need a certain recast level. Now let's check out the 5-star hex at the top. First, we have a 5-star great sword hex. As you can see, the requirement here are 5-star rarity, recast level 12, and evolution 5. Next, we have a character hex. The requirements for this hex are a 5-star mercenary character, above level 70, and evolution 5. Next, we want to move over to page 5. Now, let's see the requirements for the next hex. Now, we have a paladin class, must be rarity 4, level 50, and now starting to get characters that have to be awakened level 1. The next hex requires a 5-star hunter that's level 70, awakened once, and evolution 5. Now that's the last page we get for global Fantasy Life Online. While I'm at it, I'll show you some more pages. We will unlock more pages when we get level 80 cap, as there is total of 11 pages. Before I show you that, here I'll show you what buffs and passives you get when completing the pages. It's split into 2 parts. The orange part is for your avatar, while the blue part is for your gacha characters. Here you can notice my main character is getting a 251 HP boost, as well as a 128 physical attack boost, while my allies on the other hand are getting a plus 72 attack boost. You can also get a pretty decent gathering boost and elemental damage. Now if you scroll down just a little bit more, you'll see all the little other passives you get from completing hexes, such as critical chance, critical damage, elemental ones, passives when certain mobs, say, do extra damage to human types, do extra damage to bandits, do extra damage to dragons, etc. You get a small buff for each hexagon you put a weapon or character in. If you complete a whole set of hexagon, which is the orange buff, you get a better buff overall. So go out there and complete each hexagon and work your way up from page 1 to page 5. Now this isn't even its final form. It stops here and then it continues from page 5 all the way to page 11. So let's check out page 7 right now. Here you will notice I have more 5-star requirements, but I'm also needing more 3-star weapons and tools of a certain type. So this is why I suggest you craft a lot of iron tools to fulfill these requirements. This hex requires a mage 5-star rarity, level 74, awaken twice, and evolution 10. Next we have a cooking pan that requires 5-star rarity, level 16 recast, awaken twice, and evolution 10. Same requirements here, but for angular character. Now this is where you have to start to use relics and awakening orbs on characters and weapons and tools just to fulfill these hex boards for a small passive buff. Now moving over to page 8, you'll notice a mission requirement on this hex, and you'll see that the orange hex isn't lit up as I haven't fully fulfilled this hex set requirements. Now this hex requires a paladin sword, 5-star rarity, recast level 16, awaken 3 times, and evolution 15. You will notice I don't get the other page buffs as I need to complete page 8 first. This can be pretty hard as you will have to juggle your characters around with awakening, evolution levels, or waiting till you have that one shitty chef from the gacha and you'll finally get a purpose for her. Yeah. Now, the reason I don't have a sword for the hex is because I have promoted that weapon into a 6-star. Once I've promoted 6-star weapons for the Bond Relic pretty much count as a basic weapon again, but without the evolution requirements and starting without being awakened anymore. Mainly use my fully awakened 6-star weapons for trash hex. Pretty much replaces iron slots for your hexes now. Hopefully Boltrend will fix this in the future. You hear that, Boltrend? They're listening, right? If you want to have your say in the future content for Fantasy Life Online, Boltrend has been listening to people's feedback. So if you like, you can join the Fantasy Life Online Discord, link down below, or you can team up with other people in the Discord. Now let's check out page 10. This is where things get harder. As you can see, most of the requirements here have to be fully awakened, max evolution, and max level, which will be level 80 for 5-star characters and main character. Again, you won't get this update until the level cap is released. Now, here we have page 11. Now, you will notice you need a lot of 5-star requirements here, and you can even see my 6-star weapons that I've sadly used as a filler, because once you go to 6-star, they become basic in the Bond Relics, sadly. God, it was a mess. So, once you reach page 11, you better hope that you have the resources, because you will have to max awaken characters and weapons, max evolution characters and weapons, and then max level for characters and max recast level. So that's a lot of resources, and as well I have to jiggle all of them together, because if one puzzle is missing out of page 8, buffs only go up to page 8. So start grinding up. And remember, them shitty gacha characters you get now have a use. So don't be so salty when you get all them duplicate characters. Again!